மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.
In the final section of the DVD, we're going to cover all of White's tries that we haven't examined yet. Now, some of these lines are relatively respectable, but do not contain a lot of knowledge, a lot of theory rather to know, or do not require a lot of knowledge. And some of these lines are downright quite rare and plain bad. But this chapter I'd like to be as comprehensive as possible and cover all of the options you may face here. And the common denominator here will be is that I will avoid spending unnecessary time on variations that you are very, very unlikely to see. But at the same time, I will try to give you some pointers in the event that you wish to come back to this chapter and perhaps learn a thing or two about some of these lines. Now, some of the most respectable options that we're going to be looking at here are, for example, the two knights variation, which is when White brings out the two knights quite early, and this is quite a respectable, solid system for White, against which I will actually provide you with two options. The first being bishop g4, which is the traditionally more popular and more accepted move here. And in this variation, I was able to actually, I'm recommending quite a rare idea for black here that I have found, and I believe it's easy to play and leads to a very solid, nice position. There's also the possibility of knight f6 here, which I have played over the years, which is maybe a more aggressive attempt to play the position. And I can also mention that if you play the Tartakower variation that we have looked at earlier in the DVD, you could even consider exchanging an e4 and then playing knight f6. The point being, after trades, we get our opening structure and can proceed in the same manner. So the two knights is one respectable variation that we will look at here. Two other very respectable systems are, for example, the fantasy variation, where White tries to play a very aggressive type of game. He wants to maintain these pawns in the center and oftentimes use this as a base of attack. Again, against this system, I'm recommending two options. I'm recommending the very popular exchange e5. This is a system that I've used over the years with a lot of success, not losing a single game in this variation. I believe it is quite good, but it is quite sharp and aggressive. And another move that I'd like to show here is the move e6, which is a kind of Caro Kann and French hybrid. But the whole idea behind this setup is that it's very solid, and we try to deny White the attacking chances he is seeking. And lastly, another key variation we'll look at here is c4, which could oftentimes transpose into the pan-off, for example, if White plays an early d4, but has its own unique flavor if White grabs the pawn on d5 and potentially tries to make black lose some time regaining it. So these three are the most serious options that we'll have a look at. We'll also cover sidelines such as d3, which is a King's Indian attack against the Caro Kann, and we'll also even cover options like the Blackmore-Demer gambit, which White can try here, and all other odds and ends. So with that being said, we're going to jump into the chapter, and this will help conclude our total overview of the Caro Kann defense.
மறக்காம சர்ப்ரைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. Thank you.